Man, oh man, are Godzilla fans getting their full dosage of the King of the Monsters. Not only do we have minus one knocking down buildings in the box office and crushing the empires of certain corporate rats, but they are, on top of that, we are also getting a second Godzilla movie with the trailer now for Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Now, minus one was produced by Toho, and they've expanded the release date, where it was originally supposed to end on December 7th, which was the same day as Pearl Harbor's bombing, the day that will live in infamy. Instead now, what we're getting is they're expanding it to December 14th, which is good news for me because I saw this with my parents, first, and, then my sister went to go see it, and now I'll be able to take my wife on a date night, which is great because I really do want to see Godzilla minus one again. That movie was just phenomenal, and I'd love to do a spoiler talk maybe afterward. And yes, oh yes, the feline cartoon that everybody still wants me to review. Yes, I'll eventually get to that one. But I want to talk about Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. So this movie is a sequel to Godzilla versus Kong. So it is set in the MonsterVerse. Whereas this is produced by Warner Brothers and it's licensed by Toho in order to have Godzilla in an American-produced movie, and that's what we've had since 2014. Having Toho and the American-produced Godzilla films side by side is great, and that's what I want to first talk about before I even talk about the trailer, because I've seen a lot of there's a weird animosity among some Godzilla fans, and that's not something that as a long-standing Godzilla fan myself that I actually even participate in. I enjoy the fact that I get to have an American-produced one where Godzilla and Kong exist in the same universe, and I get Toho producing that classic Godzilla, post-World War II, hit by the H-bomb, all that stuff that we know and we love from their stuff, even if it's different continuities, and you have Shin Godzilla, now minus one, and you got the old Showa era and Heisei. I've been a long-standing Godzilla fan, if you guys haven't picked up on it already, but and I still want to get back to, not only for Thundercats 2011, but I also need to get back to doing my Godzilla film reviews in the order in which I saw them. And so the next one will be Monster Zero. So that'll be a fun one. So this new movie, I'm a little skeptical. I did actually watch the trailer. The problem is I can't escape watching the trailer. It's one of those things where, the movie comes, the trailer comes out and everybody's posting it everywhere. And it's almost impossible to miss all of the footage that gets shared around on top of Warner Brothers themselves showing the trailer. So now that I've gotten a chance to watch it, now I can actually talk about it. And so this hand comes out of the sand, and we know it's right in front of the pyramids. From what we end up finding out, that this hand, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, whose hand is that? Is that a robot hand? Because Transformers fan in me, that's the first thing that I thought about. So I was like, nope, it's actually King Kong's hand. And the same area in which all of these monsters exist in is where Kong, I guess, is living. So you have all of this whole arena for him to be able to fight monsters. They can go visit him. They have ships. So this is clearly a more futuristic, universe. I still have to see Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I don't know if that's any good. So if you guys want to let me know whether or not I should watch it, I'll reserve judgment about that, until I actually see it, but I do want to know if I should check it out. Now, I gotta say, seeing Kong look a little on the older side has me worried a bit, because he didn't look like an older gorilla, in the previous film. He looked more like he was menacing enough to be able to go toe-to-toe with Godzilla himself. And so we're all curious as to what is going on here. And I'm actually very excited to see where this goes. And right now we get to see this smaller looking gorilla. Is this the son of Kong? Is this the son of the villain? Are they doing Minya? Except they're doing it with Kong, and whereas Godzilla's not going to have a Minya in this universe. I'm curious. I don't know. Or is it going to be Kong Jr. or whatever, maybe Mighty Joe Young or, I'm curious as to what villain this is going to end up being, at the end of the day, or if it's going to be like a morphing monster.
What could have done this?
Now, when we first get to see what our villain looks like here, basically what we have is an evil gorilla. And I'm curious if it is the little one is able to, to grow into full size and then go back small, if like maybe it's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. That could be a speculation that I'm really curious to wonder if that's what they're going to do with this particular villain. Now we get to see a bunch of monsters here because remember, this is the area, if you saw Godzilla versus Kong, that is under the earth. So these are all monsters, and I don't know if are they chasing Kong?
Kong can't stop this on his own.
The other thing we learn is that King Kong is facing an enemy in which he cannot face alone. Clearly. So that's the whole premise behind the movie. Now this is the moment here in which Godzilla himself emerges from the ice, and this has gotten fans really, really angry because they're all complaining about seeing Godzilla with pink dorsal fins and eyes. And I wonder if it has to do with like the energy that he's received. Maybe he got buried in ice, and that is the reasoning behind, this, and he have to awaken him again. So here we get to see Godzilla in his full pink glory. This is not the first time he's had pink dorsal fins. I'm calling them dorsal fins, but the spikes on his back. The first time that we actually saw that color scheme specifically was Godzilla versus Megaguirus. And, I'm also noticing that there are spikes along the sides of him. I've seen two theories out of this. One is that he's a powered up version. This power up comes from whatever had buried him in ice. And the other is that this isn't actually Godzilla himself. And I'll get to that theory when I get towards the end of the trailer. We also get a first look at our villain. Whatever villain this is, again, I think it might be Mighty Joe Young. That is my current theory as to what the name of the monster is. Could be something else. We don't know what they're going to be calling him, but it is another gorilla. Also seeing the spikes light up, and I guess this is a smile on Godzilla's face. Rather cool. And, of course, Kong roars, Godzilla shoots his fire. Such a cool look right there. Wondering who he's shooting his fire at. Maybe he's mad at Kong, what have you. But this part right here had fans going, yeah, I want to see this movie right now. Godzilla and Kong running together. And I do believe this is Godzilla. I don't believe in the second theory. The second theory is that this isn't Godzilla himself. That's the reason for the pink dorsal fins. That maybe this is another Godzilla monster. No, I think this is a powered up version of Godzilla and an older Kong, which something happens to his hand. And I'm curious to think that I honestly want to wonder, does, Godzilla get powered up because something happens to him? And I'm curious if maybe Kong is going to pass the legacy to a younger Kong. That's what we want to know right now. But seeing the two of them, fighting as they are, and then, of course, seeing the trailer, Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, yeah, I definitely want to see this movie in theaters. It's going to be, It's going to be like that Avengers level event where, you know, now we've seen all the Toho monsters that they were allowed to come into this universe. Now they're starting to dive into a little bit more of King Kong's and maybe the universal monsters that, you know, within the universe of Kong could actually come into this. Maybe we might get a Mechanicon. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, you know, but that's a Toho thing. And I wonder where they're going to go with it overall. Like, are we going to see some classic monsters? I want to see more Godzilla kaiju, personally. I want to see Gigan. I want to see Megalon. I want to see Space Godzilla. You know, I want to see Godzilla kick all those kinds of butts all over the place in this universe. And then even have King Kong around to be able to do it. So, if we can get more of that, that would be cool. However, this is going to be the team up that we've waited for since the last movie. And after seeing the trailer, I'm rather excited. And I know that the ending part where they show the smaller monkey, they go, "Is that a baby Kong?" And I'm like, okay, this is going to have some corny human drama. You know, not like Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1 had a good human story with someone who had suffered from post-traumatic stress, whereas this is going to be just like every single one of the legendary monster movies that has the stupid fun that we have from the late 60s, early 70s era of Godzilla, and all of those type of movies that it kind of grown to expect. And we have room for both. You can go see Godzilla -1 in theaters. You can go and see Godzilla versus, you know, Godzilla X Kong in theaters. And just know that as a Godzilla fan, you can enjoy both. There's room for both. Like, seriously, there is room for both. I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited to see Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire? Should I watch Monarch, A Legacy of Monsters? And should I be making that video about those Thundercats? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.